I am a Army Reserve veteran, and I served from 2000 to 2008. And I am a business owner here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I own Groundbreakers. It's a hydrovac and jetting services company, and have been the proud owner of it since 2019. So just a little background of what Groundbreakers does, because most people do not know what hydrovac excavation is. It's a safe way to excavate. So we use high pressure water in a vacuum system to dig in and around utilities and pipelines. It's great kind of visual example for you is think about when you go to the dentist and they shoot water in your mouth and suck it out at the same time. That's what we do in the ground. So if there's any underground utilities, it's making sure you don't damage those if they need repair or replacing. We work with utility companies, general contractors, pipeline companies. So yeah, the business was originally started in 2011, and I was able to purchase it in 2019. Yeah, so I joined the military in 2000, literally while I was my senior year of high school. I grew up on the east side of Indianapolis. There was no 529 college savings plan waiting for me. So I said, I listened to the commercials and I said, all right, that sounds like for me. And so joined in 2000, and I was considered a split op. So I spent my first summer after high school in basic training at Fort Leonard Wood and Lost in the Woods. And then my AT, I did the second summer, and I was 75 hotel, so personnel. So I knew I wanted to not miss much of college whatsoever. So they said, okay, well, based on that, here's the two jobs you can do for the military. You can either be a truck mechanic or in personnel, and I chose personnel. I don't even think 74. I don't even think my MOS is around anymore. I think they kind of merged it. It was 72 Alpha now. But so yeah, so I served 8 years, joined right before 9/11. Then 9/11 happened, and I was very fortunate that we were a headquarters unit, so did support here stateside. So I was not called up overseas, but definitely appreciate all the men and women that did sacrifice and had to go overseas. But yeah, so I did my 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year for 8 years, and helped pay for college, and instilled in me a lot more than I ever could have dreamed of when I signed those papers and raised my right hand, and definitely has set me up into position to be a business owner, and more than I ever could imagine. I had the amazing opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, and knew a lot of friends that actually own businesses, and they said, "Hey, Andrea, you're a woman, you're a veteran, you're like this magical unicorn. You need to start a business." There's a lot of government contracts out there for that want to support people such as yourself, and so I started a business, and I always like to say I failed forward. So worked at it for a couple of years and failed forward into working at the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. So Governor Holcomb, the state of Indiana governor, said, we have more jobs than we have people. What better way to fill them than with our American veterans or transitioning service members that are transitioning out of the military? And so I supported an organization called InVets here in Indiana, do a similar function. They try to be the connecting force between transitioning service members or veterans and companies here in Indiana. So we worked in all areas: construction, healthcare, IT, education, and worked on both sides of the spectrum. So on the one side, worked with organizations and said, why should you hire a veteran or a transitioning service member of somebody that maybe joined right out of high school at 18, now they're 38. They might or might not have a college degree, but here are things that why you should hire them: because of their leadership capabilities, their ability to work well under stressful situations. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then also help veterans to understand like how to sell yourself to these organizations. Maybe here's some things that you could look at. Don't sell yourself short, how to work on your resume, how to look for jobs, things like that. So it was really the connecting force on both sides. And it was a great opportunity. I worked in that for about a year. And as I mentioned, I worked in all areas, one of them being construction, and was at a construction event working with the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. And somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, do you know anybody that actually owns a construction company that's a veteran?" And I said, no, I don't, but obviously I have a lot of resource that I can kind of look around for you. We started talking, and I get a call a week later and said, "Hey, I actually have a friend that's transitioning out of their business, late 60s, wants to kind of transition and sell his business. Would you be interested in a conversation?" Didn't know what hydrovac excavation was 5 years ago, but looked at the opportunity, saw it as an amazing opportunity to purchase a company, like I said, that's been around since 2011, has a great thing that offers utility companies. So it's kind of somewhat recession proof. And so just like I did in the military, jump in and figure it out. As a business owner, you have to be okay with asking for help. Sometimes you're on an island, and so some of the things that, and there's so many resources out there for you. Small Business Administration is just one of them that I've reached out to. They have a lot of great people that want to help entrepreneurs. They want to build entrepreneurship. Another place that I've recently got involved with about last year is Bunker Labs. It's a great community of current entrepreneurs that run successful businesses, but also a community that helps young entrepreneurs really figure out, okay, how to establish a business, what's your idea if you need to start one, or just young organizations and helping them grow. And I think that's the biggest thing that my suggestion is to find people. As an entrepreneur, you need to find those people, you need to find your community. And if the first one doesn't work out, keep trying. There's a lot of people out there that want to help, and mentorship is definitely key. And always be learning. When I think about some of my successes that I've had over the years, is because of, people that I met and asked for their mentorship. I actually have a call today at 2, and that I met a speaker in Bunker Labs, and I said, "Hey, I want to grow into other markets. I want to grow into Ohio. I want to grow into Kentucky, Illinois. I would love to hear your thoughts and just help mentorship." So that would be my biggest suggestion, is ask for mentors. When I bought the company, we had 9 trucks. Now we have 23 trucks. That definitely are not cheap to buy, even though they sound like they're basically an expensive shop vac. But we're growing, and I just love the fact that I run an organization that employs, great people, and I want to create a great environment for them to work in. So I think that's probably my biggest success is, I feel like I've created an organization where people want to come to work to every day, and we all have a united goal. And I think that just makes, you spend more time at work than anywhere else in the world. So you want to be at a place that you like to come to. So I would say that's probably my biggest success. And, I have, won some awards over the past few years, 40 under 40. It's through our organization, Indianapolis Business Journal, which was pretty cool. I just made it because I just turned 40 this April, and the cutoff was in March. So, but it's always a cool. And then also I'm a part of National Association of Women Business Owner. I got Entrepreneur of the Year. So I think, when it comes down to it, just, work hard, do what you love, kind of create a culture that you want to be a part of, and people will start recognizing it, and you get a lot of awards and accolades, which are nice. But going back to one of the things that I've kind of discovered this past year is what I just said earlier, creating a place where organization where people want to work, because when people want to work for you, it creates success for your company. So yeah, I think being a woman business owner presents its own challenges. Walk into a room, you got to be comfortable in your own skin, because usually I'm the only woman walking into that room full of, a room full of my male counterparts. And that's one of the things that I want to focus on in the future, is getting more women business owners into our position, and not only women, but women veteran business owners, because there's definitely not enough of us. In regards to future challenges, that would definitely be one. And then also another future challenge I see is with growth of a company, I want to continuously grow and grow into other states, is keeping that culture that I have here at Groundbreakers. As you get bigger, sometimes it's hard to keep that. And so that's one thing I always have to be mindful of every day. And I might think it's great, but you always have to be checking in with people, because what I see at the top might not always be what's happening in the field. As I mentioned, being a mentor is important, or getting mentors is important. So if anybody ever wants to reach out to me, shoot me an email. It's Andrea, Andrea .Sloan, SLOAN at groundbreakersllc.com. It's my direct email. Would love to help anybody out else that, asks for help.